I like all animals, but hedgehogs took priority about the time when I realised how much they needed help. I didn't know anything about them at all. I used to feed them on bread and milk just to watch them out of the windows, but they shouldn't have bread and milk, and I learnt most of my basic stuff from St Tiggywinkles. I'm Elaine Stacey. Grandma Hedgehog is my other name.
And why do they call you Grandma Hedgehog?
Because I'm old, I suppose, and I've been doing hedgehogs for so long, and we've got a lot of children, and the grandma just fits for my own relations and for visiting children. Hedgehog Care is for the benefit of weak, sick and injured hedgehogs, which, well, they're not brought in here, otherwise they would probably die. It was about 1980 when I gave it the name. I'd been taking all sorts of animal casualties other than hedgehogs in, and all of a sudden there was an awareness of hedgehogs brought from St Tiggywinkles Hospital in Buckinghamshire, and I thought, well, they certainly need help by the sound of things, and Hedgehog Care took over. And
it's a charity that helps any injured hedgehog. We've got 24-hour phone lines that people can call if they find a hedgehog out in the day, and we're just here to help them and rehabilitate them back into the wild. When somebody hands a hedgehog into Hedgehog Care, the first thing we do is deflea them, because we don't want to live with fleas, and it's a well-known fact that they are full of them. So they go straight into the house, have all the parasites cleared. If they're injured, they're cleaned. Quite often they come in with maggots on them, so all of them, that's the absolute first job. They all have to come off, along with fly eggs. They're given any antibiotics, anything like that, put on a hot water bottle if they're cold. And then basically they stay in the house and continue that treatment until they're okay to go in the convalescent ward.
Oliver Brown was one of my first hedgehogs, and he was run over. A lady picked him up, a lady called Mrs Brown brought him in, and it was ever so special. For a start, he was one of my early ones when we only have a few. He was unconscious for about 3 days and brain damaged and had some peculiar little ways of going on. And we, once people got to know about Hedgehog Care, were invited to schools and women's institutes and everything, and it was always Oliver Brown that went, because he was used to being handled a lot. And he died after about 7 years, which is a hedgehog's lifespan. We're so gutted that the outside place, which were converted stables, were finished just about the same time as Oliver Brown died, and in his memory we called it Oliver Brown. Oliver was the Oliver twist bit. He was a greedy hedgehog, so that was the Oliver bit, and the Brown was from the lady that brought him in. But when people come visiting, they always say, "Who is Oliver Brown?" and expect you to say he was a politician or somebody important locally, and it's just a matter of, it was a brain damaged hedgehog who meant an awful lot to us.
If you see a hedgehog out in the daytime, it usually means there's an issue. Very occasionally, if it's an adult hedgehog that looks busy, it could be a mum that's just come out for a top up because she's got a nest of babies. However, if it's small, wobbly or looks lethargic, you need to put in a high-sided cardboard box with an old towel or jumper, put a hot water bottle in it but well insulated, some water and cat food, and then you can either phone us or one of your local wildlife places. We've released about 400 this year, between 400 and 500, but as they're going out one end, they're piling in the door the next, so we kind of lose count on how many we've got, and we never say we're full, so we can't really count the cages and say that's it, because we'll just stack the boxes higher.
Yes, it is a 24-hour job, and it is wearing and depressing at times because they don't all live and they come in the most horrific states. But on the other hand, for an old woman, it gives me a purpose to keep on going. I don't die because I don't know who would take on the job with the same, way that I look after them. People seem so hardened and mercenary. You've just put them down because it's too much trouble to care. I don't care how much trouble they are. I'll sit up and struggle with them for as long as, when they give up, then I'll give up. But while they're still breathing, we'll take them on. We can give them painkillers if they've got horrific injuries. But you'd be amazed the courage that hedgehogs have. I mean, I know I'm addicted to them, and I can't see beyond the hedgehog's outlook on the world. But they're wonderful things as a species.
Donations are a massive help because our vet and food bills are huge, as you can imagine. But toilet rolls, kitchen rolls, towels for their bedding, dog or cat food, as I say, just not fish. Newspapers, because they're just the general cleaning out that we use every day. And unused postage stamps, because Elaine writes to a lot of people and she replies to people who write to her, and obviously the cost of stamps has gone up so much. That's a big help.